Yo guys, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum. May the Most High God bestow many peace, blessings, and lots of abundance and prosperity upon you and your loved one's path. May you guys stay healthy, well, and balanced. So, if you guys found me from TikTok, let me know in the comments. I'm curious because I just started this YouTube channel. It's my first video on here, and I heard that the first videos up to the 100th video are supposed to be shit. You won't get good until the 100th video. I've been doing YouTube though for a long ass time. I started, the backstory. I started YouTube when I was 12. Me and my friend had like a Mario Kart channel, and then I did YouTube in high school. Like I had this channel called Phoenix Vlogs, and I did like the mail yourself in the box challenge. It was so cool. Like, I had my mom drive me to the post office, and I got in the box, and then I went back home and got the box, and like my brother would shake it around, and people believe that I really mailed myself in a box. So I've been doing YouTube for quite some time, but I don't know, I feel kind of awkward in this video. But let me know if you found it from TikTok or the algorithm. That'd be cool if you found it from the algorithm, because I know YouTube is kind of a more tricky and challenging thing to grow, See, I got my coffee, I got my blanket on. It's kind of cold. I just moved to PA and it's like 3 degrees out. A lot of people are like, why did you, I've told a few people out and about, like, yeah, I moved here from Indiana, and they're like, why did you move to PA? It's so cold. I love the mountains, I just love the Appalachians. But if you do hear SpongeBob in the background, I don't apologize for that because I love SpongeBob. But yeah, my TV turns on and off. I have some difficulties with it, and I can't really figure out how to get like music on this, man. Like, sometimes I can get YouTube on it if I'm lucky. It's kind of finicky, but if you don't like SpongeBob, get off the channel, man. I'm kidding. I like SpongeBob. But anyways, let's talk about, you guys gotta not overthink your spiritual path. You can't overthink your spiritual path. A lot of people are perfectionists or spiritual perfectionists, and that's not what spirituality is about. You feel me? So when I started my spiritual awakening, before I became Muslim, I had a consciousness awakening or spiritual awakening. I realized everything is energy and motion. Everything is consciousness. Everything has a spirit to it, animism, whatever you want to call it, which I still am that way. I'm a Muslim occultist, as you can see by the title. I believe in Wada al-Wujud, which God is within everything, unity of God, unity of consciousness. God is conscious, God is consciousness, Allah is consciousness. So after that moment I had, this was before I reverted to Islam, before I took my Shahada. I had a lot of deconstructing to do, I grew up in a very, very Christian household, evangelist. That's what they call themselves. I don't like the word fundamentalist, because I still love my family. I still talk to them every day on the phone and whatever. I text my mom a lot specifically, but I want to be respectful. They are evangelicals, to the hardcore heart. Like, my mom, she writes Christian devotionals. My dad and brother both are on the worship team. I actually think my brother leads, I don't know, but I grew up in Sunday school. My parents, they actually led Sunday school. They're very involved in the church, very involved, and they go every Sunday. They're not like, what do they call, Easter Christians that only go on Easter. They're like very hardcore. And so when I left, that was hard for them, but it was also hard for me to deconstruction, because when you leave a religion, any religion, and you follow more of a conscious metaphysical path, you won't just overcome these beliefs. You have to challenge them. You have to deprogram your mind. You have to reprogram your mind and your subconscious mind. I had this belief that I still believed I was going to hell for a long time. And my grandma, like, when I left the church, she would tell me, oh, I had a dream you went to hell, and I'm so scared that if you die you're gonna go to hell. Please come back to the church. And it made me scared. I was a teenager. I had my spiritual awakening early when I was 16. I'm still a baby witch or baby occultist in the game, or alchemist, whatever you want to call it. But it took a long time to deconstruction from that fear of going to hell, and this journey is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect at all. And yeah, that took a long time to get that out of my head, what I want to say is that if God didn't have a challenge, and if God didn't give you a challenge, will life really be fun? You can't have a rainbow without rain. And a lot of people want to say this journey is love and light. This journey is gonna make you like so happy and so peaceful. No, that's not the case. Like, you're gonna go through some hard shit before you see the rainbow, There's a Rumi quote that said, in order to get on the path, you have to take the first step. And the first step, you might not know where you're going. God's going to lead you, but you might not know where you're going. That's how it was for me. I had to take the first step, and I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to go? But I had to trust the divine. Now I know it's Allah, but I had to trust the divine. I didn't know what it was. Like I said, now I do. But a lot of people just overthink so much, and it's okay to overthink. It's okay to observe and let these thoughts pass. That's why I love meditation. It's a good practice for that. But meditation only works if you're meditating outside of meditation. Yes, sir. But yeah, like, it takes a while to unprogram your mind or reprogram it, whatever you're trying to do to build healthy habits. And it takes a while, and you got to trust the process. Like I said, you have to challenge these beliefs. You have to challenge them. Why did I believe that? Why do I believe that? Is it based out of fear? Allah is the most gracious and most merciful. He does not want you to be in fear. And that's another thing I want to touch on. SpongeBob in the background. Squidward is putting like clay on his head or something. But if you see Allah as a punishing God, that's what he's going to be, because that's the law of attraction. What is going on in your mind projects into the universe, as within, so without, as above, so below. It's the Hermetic laws. So when I was growing up, I viewed Yahweh, or God, as this punishing God in the sky. He just wanted me to have a bad life and punish me. And because I believed that, that is what I saw. But as soon as I reverted to Islam, the religion of peace, I still had that. But when I don't know, there was that video that I saw that really said that about Allah and the law of attraction. So when I reframed that mind work and I focused on the verses, Allah is the most gracious and most merciful, when I learned names like Al-Wahhab, which is the most generous, I just fell in love with God, and I see him as, like I said, the most gracious and most merciful. God does not put something in your heart you cannot bear. I focus on those verses, and that helps me. I see him as a loving, generous father or mother, whatever you want to see it, because God doesn't have a gender. Allah is beyond gender, but that's for another video. Anyways, excuse me. When I reprogram my mind to believe God wants the best for me, God is rooting for me, I started noticing more blessings because that is what I saw in the world. When I see God in the world, when I see Allah in the world, I see love, I see unity, when I see Allah within other people, I start respecting them, you know? So, like I said, the spiritual path is going to be messy, it's going to come with challenges, but like I said, you have to challenge those. Sorry, you have to challenge those thoughts, man. You just have to. So that's the advice I'd give you. You gotta challenge these thoughts. This video is gonna be about something totally different. But just kind of went off the dome. Like one thing I want to say too is I'm really into arts magic. So that's another thing. Like I used to overthink, like, oh, I have to get all these statues and these specific incenses and crystals, but the divine, whichever attribute of Allah you honor, rather if it's Krishna, because I see Allah as similar to Brahman. It's not the same because there is none comparable or co-equal to Allah, but I see everything as an extension of Allah. If Allah wanted to manifest within Krishna or Vishnu or whatever to get somebody towards the path, why wouldn't he? Allah is the most infinite. So, and that's something I had to learn too. That's something I had to unprogram my mind too. And there's other Muslim occultists on TikTok, like the Muslim occultist, I can't think of his name, Muslim Mystic, just look him up. Arar, he's a good guy. Kenny the Hermetic, he's another good one. Yeah, I was just on Kenny the Hermetic's podcast, but at the end of the day, with art magic, I had to unprogram my mind. That's another thing too, is I had to unprogram my mind and challenge, why do I believe that I have to have all this stuff? Is it because I see other people doing it? I'm afraid I'm not doing it right. And once I created my first altar, it was for Santisimo Muerte. I got this, like, because I went to Mexico like when I was 12, and I had this like Mexican rug blanket. I don't know what they're called. I had this orange blanket, and I just drew a picture of Santisimo Muerte because I was kind of broke at the time, and I put it on there, and I got a dollar store candle. I got I had a sigil too. And I was thinking at first, like, what if this doesn't honor her? What if I'm not fitting in with the other Santisimo Muerte devotees? And you know, I feel the energy is amazing when I go there, because I poured my heart and my soul into that, and that's all God and the divine wants from you, is for you to put your heart into something. You know, it's more I find art magic more honoring. But this is a video, guys. Don't overthink the spiritual path. It's gonna be messy. Remember, take the first step and the path will follow. That's the Rumi quote. So I love you all. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.